All right, guys. It's that time. It's Rick Ginn on the Rick Ginn YouTube channel. And I'm going to share with you all my years experience and break down the most brutal business advice I can give you in wholesaling and in like 81 minutes. And why I want you to listen to me today is because we're actually going to do a short segment on this. And then what I'm going to do is invite you guys on and we can ask a lot of questions. So I want to make it more interactive today. So I'll put a link up here. Let me put a link. I will go ahead and share the link inside of this stream here. And if you want to hop on and do a one-on-one, just be patient with that. And I will put it on there. My name is Rick Ginn. I've been wholesaling actually 23 years. And today we're going to talk about the best advice I can give you with my experience. As usual, guys, use the comments, introduce yourself, let us know what market you're in. If you're smart, use this as a marketing channel too. That's what I am, and that's what I'm trying to teach you to be. And also make a friend here, someone that you can share advice. Most of the people in my community are in our free school group. Is about 60,000 members in there, and it is a safe place for wholesaling. We will never ask you for money in there. Anyone who does obviously doesn't know who we are. And so that's the best place to start out. And as usual, if you are new to this channel, do me a favor, make sure you hop over to freewholesaling.com. I will pop up. Let's see here. I will pop it up right here, right now. It's right here on the bottom, freewholesaling.com. That is where you can go get the best. That is where you'll get the best wholesaling course. And as I said, I combined my 23-year experience plus my son's 9 years. That gives you 32 years experience. I don't think you're going to find, I'm sure there's others that have more experience. Don't get me wrong, but the people that are relative to wholesaling today, go over to freewholesaling.com. There's no charge for it. That's the really cool part. So you can go there. It's a safe place that you can actually learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. And I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of wholesaling, and I want you to understand that. So hop on over there and let's make a friend. So it's been a busy week this last week. A lot of great deals. I got some great probate deals. I have, I got a few vacant houses. I got a house that has not been habitated in 8 years. And I get the pictures hopefully back by the end of this week. And it'll be a lot of fun. I'll try to share what I can of it for you. It's hard to share anything on YouTube anymore because everything seems to get shut down. So if you guys have a question, put it in the comment section. There's no dumb questions here, just repetitive questions. And most of the questions are going to be answered in freewholesaling.com. So I shared a link in the beginning of the stream. I believe I did. I don't think I posted it, did I? Let me put it up one more time, and then we'll take some questions when I'm done with the, when we're done with the, the brutal truths about wholesaling, as I think you guys will enjoy it. So if you guys want to hop on, I'm going to go, let's try to go like 30, 45 minutes, and then we'll hop on and we'll just do Q&As. I feel like I haven't really talked to you guys in a while, and I want to open it up because you guys get pissed off when you feel like, oh my God, the only way I can talk to you is pay you. No, listen, I've always done stuff for free. I just only have so much time. So we're going to see who actually takes me up on this opportunity and who sits on the sideline. And honestly, if you're nervous about coming on air to talk to me, like, trust me, wholesaling is going to be much tougher than I ever am. So get the guts, go ahead and do it. I'd like to talk to some new people. But either way, let's talk because this year is getting ready to wrap up. So let's jump into this. And let's do this. So, and I'm not going to give you guys anything that's going to overly whelm you. I always stick to the fundamentals of wholesaling because that's why I've been in wholesaling 23 years plus. Because the people who sway from the fundamentals of wholesaling, they eventually get killed. Just so you guys know, the fundamentals of wholesaling is simply this. You contract properties from motivated sellers that need to sell. Rule number one. Number two, You sell for a medium price. I didn't say high and I didn't say retail. That is not wholesaling. The higher you go up in price, typically the more you're going to have to pay, the more time it's going to take, and it puts you at a financial risk. Most people that say I got killed in wholesaling went outside of wholesaling, tried retail and shocked, and then blamed it on wholesaling. They're not wholesaling. So take the cue. Most people that want to get started in real estate investing, the smart ones, start out in wholesaling. Why? I never said it was easy. Number one, it doesn't require capital. It doesn't require experience. It requires an incredible amount of tenacity and persistence. And honestly, most people can't handle it. But the people that become successful in wholesaling are usually hands down the best marketers. Don't take my word for it. Go take the people, whoever you think is the most successful, and ask them what their background in wholesaling is. And I almost guarantee you, 9 or 8 out of the 10 will tell you, I got started in wholesaling. It changed my life. And I've gone on to do this, this, and that. Now, the smart ones stick with wholesaling and add all the other complementary stuff like Rick, because it will get you through any tough time in real estate. And honestly, if you do wholesaling correct, I've done the absolute worst market. I've done the absolute best market. I've done interest rates as low as 2.7%. I've done interest rates close to 9%. The one thing is I just kept on going. And so remember, I'm going to give you some basics is as long as you don't quit, you have a shot. So those are the fundamentals, guys. Motivated sellers that need to sell and don't quit. I'm not even going to put that on the screen because it's such a mantra. I get tired even putting it up. So if we all understand that, let's get into it. Oh boy, we'll have to, let's go. Okay. So first off, I'm starring your questions here. I'm not ignoring people on it. So, to be successful in wholesaling, I will tell you this. I'm going to put this up right now. Where did I put it? Stop caring what everybody thinks about you. You are never going to win. In fact, the more you try to give credibility to other people to endorse what you're doing, the more you're going to be just like everybody else. And here's our problem. Our entire lives, from the time we're raised with our parents to the time we go into school, we try to conform and fit and make everybody happy. Well, the problem is you're trying to match mediocre people. They're not bad people, but they've been taught their entire life by their parents, their peers, and their teachers is don't ask for more. Like, just get by enough. That's why you were trained to get a good job, a career, so you can pay taxes, you can help the government grow and fund and spend more money than they have. And this cycle has perpetuated itself forever. In fact, if you go back before the 50s, our government was a whole different animal. It was completely self-funded, completely balanced, and a majority of the money was not paid with income tax. Now, I'm not here to give you a political statement, but I'm completely aggravated the way everything's going on right now. So the problem is if you try to conform and do what your parents said, your peers said, and your teachers, and God forbid, college professors, I'm going to tell you, you're going to struggle. And the people you think are the most successful, the doctors and lawyers, are typically the ones that have the most challenges. Not every one of them, don't get me wrong, but like it is a lot of stress. They have massive amount of loans, and typically, you know what it is. People drive Mercedes, BMWs, and I don't care how much money you make. It's how much you spend that's really going to matter in the end. So you have to understand this. You've got to stop worrying. Stop caring what others think about you. I struggled with this when I started wholesaling. And if I really embraced this in my first 2 years, I could have got 20 times the result. And when I asked an experienced investor what they thought of my deal and they shot holes through it, I let them deflate like my confidence in what it was worth. And then they were just secretly manipulating so they could get it at a great price. And most of us lack confidence in the beginning, which we're going to talk about how to get it. And I'm here to tell you, if you follow wholesaling and you stick to the fundamentals and you buy distressed properties from people who need to sell that are truly motivated, You won't have to let buyers work you to death. You know, that old saying is like, I know what I have. So you remember the joke during COVID, everyone's like, they have a piece of plywood, a 4x8, like, I know what I have. Like a piece of plywood was going for like 150 bucks. Absolutely insane. Usually a $32, $35 item went up 5 times in value. But if you do wholesaling right, you can say the words, I know exactly what I have. And honestly, because you don't value it, I know the marketplace will. How do I know that? I focused on someone who was highly motivated that needed to sell. And I went through the steps that I was taught in the basics of freewholesaling.com. I didn't go out on the market and look for stuff sitting on the market. Guys, listen, here's the key. Stuff sitting out on the market, for the most part, it's garbage. There's a reason why it's sitting out the market waiting for a sucker to pay for it. Now, time and circumstance might change some of them, but if you need a deal right now and you went on, say, MLS, you went on Craigslist, you went on Crexy, I promise you, you're wasting your time. I'm not saying you can't get a deal, but you're not going to make money on it today. You're going to have to own it for years to make those numbers work. There's a reason why it's on the open market. Highly motivated sellers do not have time or the desire to put it on the market. They just want to solve a problem, get certainty. So if everybody understands that, just stop caring what others think. I can tell you it was one of my biggest problems, and we have to understand that. So I'm just reading all your comments on here. Okay, let's keep going. The next one. I say this all the time. You got to lose your ego. Like, who in these comments right now tells me, does your ego get you in trouble? Your ego is that arch enemy inside of you that just constantly gets you in trouble. It's the one that opens its mouth, throws outrageous stuff out, and your ego's job is to make you feel important, to make you feel noticed, and give you full recognition and give you the most amount of attention as possible. And I promise you, you'll get it in the short term. It's going to destroy you in the long term. Wholesalers that run their ego and let them run their business, they always get owned. I was one of them. You share your cash buyers list. You're just reckless about everything. I've been there. I did this in my 30s. And I'm telling you, people can't attack or plan to sabotage you if they don't know everything that's going on in your life. And your ego it's just like this ability to brag. I don't even know why we have it. If there's anybody in the psychology field here that can explain it, the ego has no purpose other than getting you in trouble. I will argue this with anyone. That the only time I ever get in trouble in life is when my ego jumps in. And all your ego is, just so you know, it's your subconscious mind activating and trying to make you feel better and give you a dopamine rush in the moment. And if you can delay that gratification, you can do massive things. The reason why me and Zach are so successful is we do not broadcast to the world everything we're doing. I have never gone on a wealth tour showing you my home. I don't show you my wife. Those of you met me in person, you can meet those people. My daughter, all that. Why? Because that sacred, just like your family's sacred to you. And they didn't sign up for this. And I will never brag about a car I own, a boat I own, a real estate I own. I own all that stuff. How in the world is that going to help you by me bragging about it? The only thing that's going to help me do is sell you a bunch of crap. And I don't know why, guys, the minute you see, I'm just going to say it. I don't even care. When you see young men flashing cars, run like hell. Now, I'm impressed people can afford it, but I'm much more impressed with a rental portfolio, a commercial portfolio, anything like that. A car is a depreciating asset. It screams, I don't understand business, and I'm using this as a magnet so I can sell more courses. That car, I promise you, is never going to make you a better wholesaler. In fact, I would say it's quite the opposite. So we have to understand that, which leads me to my next one. Wholesaling is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So why would I flash you a Lamborghini? Why am I going to show you a piece of leased real estate? You know, the people that go on like TikTok and Instagram and they keep showing their incredible piece of real estate. There's a reason they have to keep showing it over and over, because they're probably dropping 20 to 30K a month on it and they're leasing it. It is just not impressive. Anybody can do that. To me, that's very, very low level stuff. Just like the plane, you can't fake a plane. I don't own a plane. Why? Because it's not in my budget right now. I mean, most quality planes are between 15 and $70 million. And then it's going to cost you at least 10 to 15% of that to run it on top of it. I'm not there. That's why you don't see a plane. And honestly, I would love to have a plane. I think it's like a magical time machine. And I'm very impressed with the people like Grant Cardone and stuff that can do it, but that's their journey. And if a plane comes to my journey, I embrace it. I am not there. So why am I going to fake a plane with you guys? I charter planes all the time. I don't sit there and take photos like I own it. It's ridiculous. So we have to understand wholesaling is not a get rich quick scheme. End of story. Does everybody understand that? Okay. They got this timer thing on. It freaking drives me nuts. Let's keep going. The car thing, like the minute I see the car and the flashy real estate, I already know how bad are you going to hit me over the head with the course? You want to sell me a course, please do it without the toys. For some reason, particularly young men, I'm just going to tell you guys get enamored with watches, cars, and real estate. And if you know those are three things that people are going to key on you, avoid them like the plague. I like nice watches, but this is my favorite watch. It's skin color and it's beautiful. Do I own one? That's it. Do I sit here and go like this the entire time? How on earth does that help the average wholesaler? We have to understand that. It drives me absolutely nuts. Okay. Now, this is going to be an extreme. I'm not even going to call this controversial. Wholesaling is not for everyone. Wholesaling is not for everyone. Let me flash this back up here. Let me repeat it. Wholesaling is not for everyone. If wholesaling was for everyone, it would not be an opportunity. So understand, a lot of people that come in wholesaling come in under the wrong premises, the wrong expectation, and they get crushed. I didn't know it was going to be that hard. It's so overwhelming to talk to people. Hey, as I said, wholesaling doesn't care. It doesn't care about your feelings and emotions. You have to put it in check. Guys, would you agree that wholesaling is not for everyone? If you go like this, say your best friend that you've known your entire life, and they go, because here's what they always say to me in my 23 years old, maybe I should try the wholesaling. Oh Lord, I already know how that is. So Mark puts, Mr. Lopez is a perfect example. It's easy to spend other people's money. So, to be fair, dude, Cardone's pretty legit. He's pretty legit. I'm not even gonna sit there. Like how he does it, that's a whole different whammy on that. Somebody says my audio is going out, but it looks like it's working here. Everybody can hear me okay? Just give me a thumbs up on it and see if I need to redo something on here. Which leads us to the next thing. This is one of my favorite ones. Looking rich. If you look rich, people assume you're rich and they give you credibility. And that's why they'll hand over 10, 20, 30, 50 grand. And then you're in shock when the person either gets indicted or you find out they really don't have any skills and their course is crap. That's why we created freewholesaling.com. The difference in looking rich, anybody can look rich. It's easy as hell to do. Car, real estate, plane, watch. Great. The key to this business, guys, is becoming rich. And I will tell you right now, to become rich, you're going to have to make an extreme sacrifice. If I thought just getting rich was super, super simple, I would tell you it's not. There's a reason why there's only a certain percent of the population that you would consider rich. Now, the word rich is very misleading because not everything in life's about money. I promise you, I am not the best wholesaler out there. I've never claimed to be the best closer. I've never claimed to be the best marketer, but I will tell you, I'm damn good. I can't wear that crown because how do you compete in this business? But I will tell you, I haven't met many wholesalers that last 20 plus years. They're always in, they're out. They were hot one day, they get cold. I don't understand it. If you stick to the fundamentals of wholesaling, you never ever have to worry about it. And if you know that, it works. So instead of looking rich, I teach you how to become rich. And it is a slow process, but it is very, very worth it. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Guys, I put a link on in the beginning of the comments if you want to jump on a live. I'm going to finish up here and I want to take it and have conversations with you guys. So I got a couple people in queue. If you get in there, I can pretty much guarantee you'll get in. My next one, you ready? Your words matter. Guys, you have to be very careful with the word choice you make in life because I've become so good at listening to your words. I already know what you're thinking without you even consciously knowing what you're thinking. I think, I should, I'll try, it might work are all code words for I don't want to do too much work. And the minute I have an obstacle, I'm out. And I'm telling you right now, listen to your words. If you don't believe me, start recording yourself. I had somebody do this to me a long time ago, and I remember word for word what he said, your words matter. When people go, I think I did, I should have, I might have, these are all shaky, flimsy words, and its code is you're lying to me. And not more important, are you lying to me? You're lying to yourself when you do it. And if you lie to yourself, you can't fix a problem. Think about this. If you're overweight, which is a big problem in the United States, if you can't, number one, admit you're overweight, you have no shot in dealing with the problem. What's step two? Once you admit the problem, then you have to measure how big the problem is and come up with a plan to fix it. How do I measure the problem if I'm overweight? I have to get on a scale. No matter how painful it is, I have to get on a scale. The same thing in wholesaling. If you've been shooting from the hip, you don't really listen to the words you say, and you try a little bit of this and you try a little bit of that, and you have no KPIs or no numbers, how on earth do you really plan on being a successful wholesaler? I already know the answer. It's not going to work. Remember, I said wholesaling is not for everybody. If it was, it would not be the opportunity it is. The reason why it's such a tremendous opportunity for you and me is because very few are willing to go through the battle that we're going to do. Which leads me to the next one is, well, let's see what's going to be the next party. It's simple, guys. You just have to outwork other wholesalers. That's the key. You guys are so worried about saturation. Did you know 9 out of 10 wholesalers suck? It's just the truth. They temporarily try to do this business. Let me flash this back up there again. You just need to outwork your competition. And most of your competition is not serious about being successful in this business. I'm going to try. I'm going to make 10,000 cold calls. The 23rd one there, and they're like, oh man, this is terrible. I don't know if I can go on doing this. You see, your interpretation of saturation is like, I don't even register it. Most people try wholesaling. Very few actually work wholesaling and actually work it like a business. Guys, I tell you, the first 2 months in everybody's wholesaling career is miserable. Mine was no different. The only difference is I didn't stop doing it. I decided to replace my whining and excuses with solutions. And that's going to be the key with it. You have to understand, all you have to do is outwork the average person. And if people suck at being average in wholesaling, you just got to rise up. Guys, I have over 60 students that me and Zach have personally taught that make $1 million plus a year. Do you think it's by accident? Actually, every one of them committed to us in some capacity and knocked it out of the park. What's the difference between that person and someone who just does, I don't know, 3 to 5 deals a year? They run it like a business and they don't give up and they constantly try to better themselves. There is no easy button in wholesaling. It is not a get rich quick scheme and it is not for everyone. So I don't know why people don't come in with that expectation. So Let's keep moving forward here. So I said your words matter. The next one, this is a no-brainer. You guys know how I feel about this one. College is not going to help you in wholesaling. In fact, I'll even go out on a limb. Outside of using college for traditional practices like engineering, law firms, and medical, unless you can get like a brand name like Harvard or something like that, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm just going to tell you, I hire some of the most well-paid people. I really don't care what their education is. Why? Because college is a watered down version of high school. So listen, if you want to go to college and your parents are going to push you, do yourself a favor. Go online, find a highly accredited university, do it online. Don't waste your money on room and board and get your degree. Because when you go in and say you want to use the credibility for your degree, you got to get it at the best price possible. So why waste time and money? And you guys know what goes on in these schools. I'm all for college. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just not the same animal it was. And if you're talking about wholesaling, there's, listen to me, zero value, zero, nothing. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I, I want to be a successful wholesaler. What should I do? Start wholesaling. Should I go to college? What do you want to do in college? You want to just give somebody else your money away? It's just the truth. I'm like, I know most of you go to college to appease your parents because they raised you, and that's fine. You want to do it. Just do me a favor. Just do the online experience and just get through it. You just have to reverse engineer and hack your parents unless you can't deal with them. But I would go to college and run my own business. I would look at it as, okay, now I'm going away somewhere. I can run my own business and I can basically work 20 hours a day, go through school and that's how I would do it. Why? Because you're never going to get those 4 years back. And honestly, if you took a year or two just to learn wholesaling, imagine what you would be like when you came out. But most people go through college, they party, they have a good time, and they come out, I'm not sure what I want to do. And then you wind up living at home with mom and dad, and it is 10 times worse. So listen, if you got to go through college, listen, use the resources I teach you in wholesaling. So if your parents have strongly committed that you have to go to college or you don't have a place to live, make a choice. I know everything's expensive, but the reality is getting a college degree online would suffice that. And you can reverse engineer and hack it. That's what I would do. It's going to cost you, it's going to be at least 70% cheaper. And then you can accelerate it and get through it as fast as you want. And guess what? Nobody gives a crap if you walked on that stage. Nobody cares about if you're cum laude, all that other crap. People care is like, how productive are you? How can you help increase the bottom line of your business? And what better way to run your own business as opposed to working for somebody else and working on their dreams? It's just the God honest truth. And I know the entire society goes the other way. Get a good job, get a good career, get a 401k, get your health benefits. Guys, the average compensation package for healthcare and a minor 401k contribution is $15,000 to $20,000. Most of you will sell out your entire year, 365 days a year, for like 15 grand. So what are you? Oh my God, I can't give up my benefits. Listen, if you got a medical issue or something, do the right windows and stuff. So let's say 15 grand. So for $41 a sale, you become a slave to a company. Hey, at least you know it up front. I used to think that way. Oh my God, I could never lose my benefits. You can lose your benefits. Trust me. You can go out and pay for them on your own. And there's plenty of programs, even when you're not making a ton of money. Stop depending on the government for crap. It's not going to help you in the long run. The sooner you discover wholesaling, if you've chosen this path, I'm telling you right now, you can do anything. But I will tell you, college is absolutely zero benefit to wholesaling. There's no wholesaling classes. I even took real estate classes in college. They were 100% geared towards a realtor and a lawyer. This is how you have to do a transaction. Guys, real estate's going to change with this current administration on how they structure mortgages and stuff. You've already seen the handwriting on the wall, and we're going to have to adapt and come up with even more creative solutions. And as these stupid states put in all this legislation to try to discourage wholesaling, Us wholesalers are just going to come up with more creative ways. Don't be surprised if we rebrand the word wholesaling, because I got so many influencers out there telling all the negative of wholesaling. The funny thing is, it was good enough for them to become multimillionaires, but now they're telling you you don't deserve those same rights and you have to do this. If you don't do this and use my funding company, you shouldn't be doing wholesaling at all. Guys, listen, I'm on your side, man. I fight for the wholesaler. I want to be able to sign every contract I humanly can. And until that window closes, I promise you, I'll have 5 more techniques for you to get anything done. If you are worried about the legalities of wholesaling, you're the same person that's worried about if someone's going to hit you in a car or someone's going to come over the yellow line. You can do this all day long. You'll have to sit in your house and stare at the wall. You'll never get anything done. We have to understand that. Okay, next one, fun one. Ready? Work-life balance is an illusion. It has never existed in my life, and I'm just telling you, anyone who tells you that, I guarantee is mediocre. There will be times where you have to grind into business, and it is in a season. It might even be 2 or 3 seasons. Why? Because businesses are like small children. They need a lot of attention and a lot of love and a lot of direction. And you can't just show up 9 to 5 and expect to have incredible results. 9 to 5 is a job. And remember, the trade-off for the job is you're replaceable. They will replace you in a heartbeat if they think they can get someone to do it cheaper or have AI do something or get you to do more jobs. So if you know that's the trade-off for the job, why on earth are you guys buying this work-life balance? And don't get me wrong, you have to concentrate on your health. And if you let that slide, but I've had times where you let the stress eating get up on you, you know what I'm talking about. At some point, you got to balance it out. But I've had plenty of nights, and I still have more. I have to pull an all-nighter to meet a work deadline. Maybe it's deals we're trying to fund. Maybe it's a complicated real estate project we're working on. Maybe it's a live. I just haven't had time because I was working all day. That's always going to be there. And I have to go over this with my wife all the time. There are seasons where we have to do. When we set up X Leads, I mean, I had to give up a lot to do it. But to me, it was worth it. And I'm trying to translate this for wholesaling for you. If you want to do it, why do you guys think you can get by 9 to 5 wholesaling with no experience, nothing? It's a joke. There's no, let me tell you, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in wholesaling and real estate investing. I've never met someone that had a perfectly balanced life. So stop trying to create everything's like perfect. There's times you just have to work. I prefer you take Sundays off and re-energize and with your business, but sometimes that's not an option. Like this last Sunday, I had to work all day. Too much to get done. So eventually you can get balance once you get steady income, you get employees in place to key employees so you can do your KPIs and everything. But in the beginning, dude, let's just face it, it's just you. So why do you think you can take a day off? I'm just being honest with you. If you want that perfect balance, and you're taking it from your corporate world, go back and just get your job because it's not going to help you in wholesaling. Does everybody understand that? Next one. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Sacrifice is mandatory in wholesaling. If you are going through wholesaling and you're not willing to make a sacrifice or you won't admit it, you will never last. What do I mean by sacrifice? I've already told you, a good wholesaler will give up the first 2 years of their wholesaling career to make it successful, meaning they will go 6-7 days a week. They will call hundreds of thousands of sellers. They will spend money on marketing, and they won't bitch and whine. They'll actually look for solutions so they can move the needle in their business. And the crazy part is, I'll give you an illustration of wholesaling because I don't have my graph board. Is you have a needle. It goes like this, right? When you start, it just sits here. And you're trying to get it to go up. And then it goes up a little bit and then it flatlines. And it just goes up a little bit, flatlines. And after 3 or 4 times, you're like, damn, what's the point of all this? I cannot move the needle. Nobody told you it really takes 6 months to get any sort of momentum. You're going from 0 to 100 miles an hour and expecting that needle. If that needle moved like that, you would not have the opportunity of wholesaling. So read into it, understanding that That dopamine rush that our entire country seeks for instant gratification, it is not inside wholesaling. In fact, you're going to have to learn delayed gratification. It's painful. Honestly, your parents probably didn't teach it to you. I know your teachers didn't teach it to you. Some of them told you hard work would pay off. Most of them lied to you because they told you to go get that college education. The reality, guys, the smartest people do not make the most amount of money. The smartest people are not the happiest people ever. But we've been told our entire lives this is how life should work. Okay. All I want you to do is have enough money so you have options to do what you want to do in life. It's not about being the richest person in Babylon. Richness comes in more forms than money. But if you have nothing but money problems, by the way, 70% of divorce is a result of financial issues. If we could just tackle the financial part, you'll have options. You can breathe in your life. You can help out mom when she needs help. You can help out a sibling. You can help out a loved one. But it's frustrating when you can't even help yourself. Most of you need to take that oxygen mask and just put it right over your face and give you air. But like until you can get your own oxygen, it's very hard to help other people. And that's why I use wholesaling as the stepping stone so you can help other people. But you guys are so busy trying to help other people and you won't help yourselves. It's ridiculous. Don't give out advice until you get your stuff in order. So we have to understand that the sacrifice, guys, it is required. Nobody ever makes it without it. Listen, I would love to get rid of the sacrifice, but until you struggle on the phones, until you have deals fall apart, until you get screwed over by a buyer, until you have a JV partner find out that they're not exactly what they are, this is the journey of wholesaling. You're going to have failures. Failures are the stepping stones to success in wholesaling. End of story. There's no other way to do it. Does everybody understand that? Perfect. Sacrifice. It is required in wholesaling. There's no way around it. So, okay. I think I put everything up here. Here's my saying. I said this by accident. Sellers can't take offers you don't make. They won't take what you won't make. Does everybody understand that? If you're not making offers, there's no way to get them taken by your sellers. So we have to understand that. And we have to make offers. If you're not making offers, you're falling apart. Now, you should be making offers only to motivated sellers that need to sell their house, but we have to understand that. Now, oh boy. I don't even know if I should put that one up. And here's my simple recipe. If you can grasp these three concepts, you're well on your way to be successful in wholesaling. It's real simple. Volume plus repetition, actually multiply it by consistency. That gives you success in wholesaling. Let me put this back up here, guys. Volume. Volume gives you the opportunities you need volume to make up in the beginning. Repetition gives you the training, and consistency keeps the grease flowing and keeps the wheels, all your leads, all your sellers coming through. If you can't do all three of those things, in the beginning, you won't do them all perfectly. That is how you get work balance, meaning that's how you get money coming in the door and you can have predictable income. But most people, I'm going to be honest with you, when I put this up here, they skip out on the volume, the repetitions all over the board, meaning they don't practice, and their consistency, it's when they feel like doing it. And that is the problem why most people fail in wholesaling. And you have to understand, if you don't do that, it's going to be problematic with you. And the last one, guys, everybody asks me, Rick, how do you get confident in wholesaling? It's something you're going to have to earn on a daily basis. If I could put confidence in a bottle, I'd be the richest man on earth, but I can't. You have to earn it. If I could just take your ego, pull it out and put confidence in, oh my God, it'd be crazy. Confidence is nothing more than your belief in your ability to get something done and a strong likelihood it's going to succeed. So how do I give you confidence if you have no idea how to wholesale and you don't have experience doing it. Well, the problem is sellers don't want to deal with people that aren't confident that they can help them out. Would you buy a car from someone that's never sold a car or don't know what they're doing? Nobody wants to deal with that first salesman, but people are forgiving. And I will tell you, if you think your age is a liability, I will challenge you all day. I took my 16-year-old son, put him in as an acquisitions manager and a marketing manager. And he asked me, he's like, Dad, how am I going to overcome my age? I go, do you think it's an issue? He goes, no. Okay. Well, if you don't think it's an issue, then your sellers won't. And then we practice. What are we going to do when they bring up your age? And we just rehearsed it. His age has no ability on him to effectively take down a wholesale deal. In fact, his youth is his asset. And he constantly reminds him, most people will take you for granted. I won't, because I need your business. I want to earn your business. And I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to go beyond what an average person will do to make sure your deal is successful. What I lack in experience, I make up in my eagerness to fulfill all your needs in this transaction deal. Would you rather work with someone who's eager or someone who's assumptive of doing the business 10 years plus? Because people get attitudes after they do wholesaling for a long time, and they're going to have to reinvent themselves. I got one. Most of you will get them if you last. And then you're going to have to find out you're not as tough as you think they are, because sellers don't want to deal with anyone's attitude. They want people that they can trust and people that will help solve their problem. That is it. And you have to understand that. So how do I do it? Your skills, which you get through constant practice and experiences through repetition, it just equals confidence when it's all said and done. Does everybody understand that? Skills plus experience is confidence. So if you want confidence and you don't want to sharpen your skills, it's going to be painful. If you've sharpened your skills, but you don't put them to practice by making phone calls, sending text, visiting sellers, knocking on doors, reverse driving for dollars, whatever it is, you're not going to get the confidence. See, so many people try to get confidence just by doing volume, and it ain't going to work. You actually have to practice your skills and then put them to the test by going through the repetitions. It's the only way to get better in anything. It's the mother of all skills: repetition, repetition, repetition. And we have to do that. Everybody understand that? Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to bring some people on here and we're going to talk about wholesaling. And then what I will do is I will put this in the comments. I'll answer a couple questions and give you times. We got some time here to bring some people on. And, so, Mark understands you're going to learn so much more from your failures and your successes. And I agree with it, because the reality is, if you don't want to fail something because you taught your entire school system, you don't want to get a failing grade. And I'm here to tell you, you're going to have to fail some stuff to learn your lessons to move forward. I've created my biggest wins in all of real estate through some of my biggest failures. It's terrible. And what I thought was a ultimate just destruction of my life, of deals that failed or sellers that didn't come through on a deal, it taught me how I don't have to get stuck in that situation. And guys, this is a lot of the information me and Zach has shared with you. That's why we do a conditioning statement. Why? Because I've been doing this 23 years. People with little experience, 10 years or less, don't understand the value of it. Now, I don't ask anyone to agree with me. Why? Because I don't care what they think. I only care what sellers think and you guys think. But I promise you, I'll have someone on the stream that'll disagree with me. I don't care. I don't care. It's just the truth. You have to understand, guys. We have to understand how failure works. I can tell you, over my entire 56 years, my failures have defined the man I have become through my family, my business, my faith, and everything I've ever done. Life is just, we all have issues. Everybody understand that? We have tons of issues. How we navigate and get through them. Why does one person dump? Like, I kind of laugh, like me and my wife talk about this all the time. Sometimes I'll go to an event and I talk to people and go, hey, how are you doing? And before I know it, like a dump truck backs up and I get 20 minutes of all their problems and how terrible life is. And they don't ask me one question back. Now, let me ask you, I feel for that person and I'll give them some basic advice. But do you think I'm going to circle back around that person in my inner circle? No, I don't want anything to do with them, because everything's a problem. Everything's a victim in their life. And they just feel like, oh, why me? I'm the opposite. Take accountability for what happens in your life. Deal with the things that you can control, and the stuff you can't control, take the lesson from it and move on and make your life better. But some people are always going to be a victim. This is terrible. I can't get past this. Like, listen, I get people who come home from the military, terrible acts, stuff like that. I don't discount any of that. But I'm just talking about like regular people, like someone rejected me, so I can't talk to anyone. So I'm worried as a father with our kids out there. I love young wholesalers. It is my passion to teach young people wholesaling. Why? Because if somebody grabbed me when I was 16, 17 and just held me to the fire, I don't know what would have happened. I probably wasn't mature enough to deal with it, to be fair. But remember, my failure of going through and following my parents' advice, following my peers' advice, following my teacher's advice, and following my professor's advice is all the frustrations that led to the culmination of me developing my children into people that will actually succeed in society. That's why Zach is here, because he doesn't know, he doesn't have the stigmatism, all the crap I went through. He just sees everything as a positive, and there's just the amount of opportunity out there amazing. And then I can talk to somebody else at like a family get together or something like that. I'm like, hey, can I borrow some money? I've been employed for 4 years. Yeah, I know why you've been employed. You're the most depressing person I've ever met. And we all have to deal with that. And I look at it like, I meet with this person and they're on top of the world making a ton of money and they can't believe how much opportunities. And I deal with this person and they're like, they're clinically depressed. They have no opportunity. They haven't worked in years. And hey, can you bail me out because I'm a victim here? Smart entrepreneurs will always gravitate towards the positive people. And my lesson here is you guys are going to have to do the exact same. So it just drives me nuts. I'm reading all the messages. So Terrence is right. I've been wholesaling in my 30s, 40s, and 50s. I've watched, and let me tell you guys, do you know how many influencers I've seen come and go out of this space? It's like a 98% turnover ratio. And most influencers have less than 5 years experience. Interesting. I strongly believe that people should not really give advice in real estate till they've shown consistent 5 years of action. Now, I'm fine with it. Some people do it more than others, but I just think there's too many people teaching with too little information out there. So, okay, let's answer some questions here. And if you guys want to jump on a live, I don't know if you guys are just shy tonight. It's up to you. I'm not going to make anyone talk. And but remember, I'm giving this absolutely for free. So it's kind of on you. Kellen says, if you're calling leads and they say the ARV 150 and they want 160, would you count them as a dead lead? After I qualify them, and I need to see if they need to sell versus want to sell by going through the MCTP. And as long as they don't tell me to like take a hike off, I'm just going to put it in as I wouldn't call it a warm lead. I'd call it a cool lead or cold lead. And then you could put them in an SMS follow-up. You can put it in an email. That's why we created X leads. So you could follow up with all these types of people. So you could actually get traction. Because guys, listen, not everyone's going to tell you off the bat they need help. Everybody understand that? These glasses are killing me. Having a little bit of a contact problem the last few weeks. So I normally don't wear glasses. I hate glasses more than anything. But that's why we want you to use a platform like XLeads so you can sit there and follow up with all these people, because there's just so much that you have to do, that you have to understand. So that's what I would do with it. I always listen. If this lead is, say it's worth 150 and they go, I want 400,000. Okay. I pretty much know there's going to be no motivation there. That's kind of like if the price is right, and that's a waste of my time. That one, I'm probably not going to put in my database. But 150, 160, if they came off one of your government list, or say they came off the delinquency list or the vacant list, You just got to get the story behind the symptoms of the real estate, and you might have a shot at getting a deal there. So, hopefully it helps you out. Uh, Big says, does X Leads have access with the I assume you mean MLS. It's definitely not MLM. But yes, and it also gives you data in non-disclosure states, which is I could not operate in like states like Texas without it. There's a host of them. I'm not even going to like shoot them off because there's so many. Uh, so Kaylin, I can already tell this. Are you doing cold calling with your own VA? Because here's what I'm going to just and like I appreciate the questions. Like there's no bad questions here. I've already told you is if you have a VA calling and you don't have experience with cold calling, you're trying to manage the VA, you're trying to manage the scripts, you're trying to manage the KPIs, you're trying to manage how much to pay them. It's usually going to be a massive failure rate. I've rarely seen somebody hire their own VA that doesn't have an incredible amount of experience themselves or their own in-house person. And that's why you have programs like M2M. We give you professional cold call centers for $4.50 an hour. And you don't have to do any of that management stuff. What's the cost? It's around $1,000 a month. But that puts around 40 to 50 leads in your inbox inside of X Leads. It's pretty amazing. But I can tell by the questions you're asking that you're trying to figure out. And listen, I commend you for doing it. I'm just telling you 90% of people that do it the way you're doing it end up in failure on it because they don't know how to manage the cold caller. And that's the challenge. Now, if you have incredible success cold calling yourself, I will give you the leniency on that, but you're never going to get the power of some of these professional cold call centers. And that way you can get some of your time back. But I'd be curious at what you're paying them just out of um, so here's the deal is the expectations on any type of cold call center. I don't ever overreact on someone's initial price unless it's like double the value of the property. Then that tells you almost everything you need to know. The reality is if the property needs to be sold, meaning there's an underlying condition and something in MCTP triggered it, that's what I'm going to weigh most of my decisions on. I can't tell you how many properties I buy. I just had one, what was it? Friday. The guy's original price, it's $550,000. Okay. I go, that seems like it's, so they were only selling for 430 to 455 in the neighborhood. I go, okay, oh, I get it. I just let it go by me. Woo! Let the cloud pass, right? And I go, tell me a little bit about the property. Well, he went in 10 minutes and then his wife jumped on. She goes, we haven't been in the property in 3 years. And she goes, you might want to consider knocking it down. Now he went from retail to like crap. My wife's running me under the bus. He's just what I call peacocking. So if I have an underlying condition on the property, I don't even care what their first glance over the bow. Remember, somebody cold call them, stranger danger. You just have to get past it. Now, you got to weed through. But the problem is if you try to judge every lead, you're going to miss out on opportunities. So if it's a lead, just follow up with them and go through the qualification process. What's the expectation? You're going to have to get through a lot of no's to get a yes. And that's what you mainly have to understand. This is interesting. It says, I got a contract signed for $5,000 for half the duplex. Looks rough on the outside, but the tenant pays $200 a month, but the side has no bathroom. The other side is on a septic with a bathroom. That's very interesting. I never heard something like that. Maybe somebody can comment or help them out with that. As a beginner, should I focus on one state at a time or learn expanding there? I would try to pick your market, either do it local or virtually. That's your first decision, and get one market started. Don't try to be in like 100 different places. It's the thing is if you're always start out locally, but if you're in one of those markets where it's super expensive, San Fran, Miami, Manhattan, stuff like that, then you can go virtually. But the last thing you need to be is in like 100 markets. The challenge when you go virtually, you have to learn like the local market area, and all real estate is local and it takes time. So if you understand that, we'll go from there. Um, okay. Joseph, you there? I left him on hold for a while. Joseph, let me know if you're there. I got you up.
Hey, how's it
What's
going?
going on, man?
Hey, so yeah, my question was if
Yeah.
I'm starting out with no capital, right? Um, are FSBOs the way to start, and how do I go about like finding a decent title company?
Okay. So the first and foremost thing I'm going to have you do, actually, I'll put it on. I just want you to go and look through, not look through, I want you to absorb freewholesaling.com.
Okay.
Because I answer almost every one of those questions in there. Listen, FISBOs are not the worst way to go, but so the challenge with FISBOs is you've already agreed that going through realtor is pretty much a waste of your time, right? In
Yeah.
wholesaling. Okay,
Yep.
good. FISBOs have like a little bit of a knock on it too, because sometimes they think they can do it all, get top
Mm-hmm.
dollar and not deal with a realtor. And so you'll find a lot of unrealistic sellers on FISBOs. And
Mm-hmm.
so we go through on freewholesaling.com. If you're going to do FISBOs, here's my requirement. Find ones that are at least 90 days or older.
Okay.
You do not want fresh listings. It's almost worse than calling a realtor, in my opinion. Number
Mm-hmm.
two, try to look for multiple price reductions, which shows some sort of sign of motivation because you
Mm-hmm.
are direct to the seller, which is great, but a lot of them overprice them. And
Mm-hmm.
then let me ask you, Joseph, what happens to a property that's overpriced on the market 9 times out of 10?
I mean, basically it's not as efficient as one that's, marked down.
Correct.
Yeah.
It sits out on the market, right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, we've already established the market does not like your price. The market is mean. Do you understand? It's very mean. It's
Mm-hmm.
nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is why I want to use the price reductions is if the market's already told you it's wrong, are you willing to start to drop the price, which shows some sort of motivation they want to sell it? If you use those two criteria,
Mm-hmm.
go for it. Now, me and Zach do streams all the time. I did one the other day. I think I called 3 people and I got a deal. It wasn't the greatest deal, but hell, any one of you would have taken it in a heartbeat. I have the experience. I didn't even know that market was in a place I've never been to before. Actually, I was born in that state, but I only lived there 2 weeks. And but I still want you to do the government list. And remember, you got to find people who need to sell their house versus people who want to sell your house. That's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
problem with FISBO. There's a lot of wants,
Okay.
and you have to get through volume to get past that. So pick your market. Are you doing it locally or virtually?
Virtually, yeah, at the moment, virtually.
Okay. So you got to make decisions, but you're going to do FISBOs. Those are the rules. And then
Okay.
I would mix that with any type of government list. And then, any type of probates, code violations,
Hmm.
foreclosures. Honestly, guys, I find foreclosures, they're difficult. I'm not like, I've never been the biggest fan of foreclosures. People in foreclosure they're in such deep denial. It's hard to connect with them because they assume everything's all right. And the only success I have with foreclosures is in the beginning. Because at the end, they're willing to do anything because they know they're going to lose the house. The problem is there's no money left in it. Even if
Hmm.
you had a miracle attorney stop it, they still want 10 or 20 grand. And like the thing is, you can't even buy it because there's no money left in it. Why would I buy an overpriced property?
Hmm.
So when you go through FISBO, just please do the ones that are 90 days plus and have
Hmm.
at least one, if not two price changes.
Okay.
And if you
Thank
do
you so
that, you'd
much.
be surprised how much damage. But I tell you, you call on freshly listed 30 days, I think it's actually worse than MLS. That's how bad it is. And that's
Yeah.
why I hate it when my son makes me call on like FISBOs, because
Hmm.
9 out of the 10 calls are unrealistic sellers. So we found using those additional criteria helps. But go
Hmm.
through freewholesaling.com. I'll
Hmm.
answer. There's an entire series on there of how to deal with your title company. And I think
Hmm.
you'll find it very, very helpful. Okay.
Okay. I appreciate that so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem, Joseph. Thank you. See you. Daniel, what's going on, man?
Hi, doing really well. Thanks so much, Rick. How are you?
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
How's the temperature there today?
It's cold as hell, man. It's really cold
Look
today.
at this. I'm wearing a sweatshirt and it's 72 degrees out. That's how cold I get in Florida.
Yeah.
But I got flip flops underneath the table here, but I won't show it to
Hey,
you. So,
man.
how
Same
cold
here,
is it
man.
today there?
Flip flops all day long.
How cold is
It's
it
probably
there?
like, I think it's 72. It's
Oh, okay.
56 right now. No, it's
Yeah.
56.
You and me should probably keep our mouths shut at this point. So, I talked to my buddy down from Detroit today. He's like, it was -6 when he left. I'm like, so I just set him up
Yeah.
for like for a fishing trip and everything. He's like, "Oh, I love this weather." I go, "Dude," I go, "I'm wearing a sweatshirt and I'm free." I was actually wearing jeans this morning. It's a little cold. So, what's going on, man? What can I help you out with?
Oh gosh, thank you so much. Well, I just had some general questions about the M2M. It's been on my list to do this month to join that. I just wanted to make sure that, or to see if the X leads was a part of the CRM that's mentioned in the
So
advertisement.
here's how we do it. We don't include. So we strongly, strongly, strongly recommend you have X leads because that's how we do our KPIs and accountability.
Okay.
And the problem is, it's not that the other softwares are bad. They're not bad. We used them all at one time. We just think they're all overpriced and they don't have a lot of features that X Leads has into it. So the problem is if I had to manage everyone's, prop stream and all these other services, it gets really confusing quickly. And so um, the M2M is basically you have a yearly fee, which you get the biggest discount. We have a monthly if you want to do it that way. Not everybody has my program is 100 times cheaper than anybody else's, and we have a staff of 12 people that they all have a job because me and Zach can only do so much. Like you agree, only two people can only handle so much. I don't do one-on-ones, but I have people I've coached wildly successful that started out in free wholesaling, worked their way up, and people that had very, very simple jobs in their life. And they believed in me. I made them believe in themselves, and I just pushed them every month. And so here's our requirements. You just pay the entry fee, go to joinm2m.com. I'm completely transparent. There's no coaching call. I'm not going to hire a salesman to persuade you in maxing out your credit card or doing anything like that. The
Right.
next step like that, we strongly encourage you to get an X Leads account. It's not included because the data, there's a cost. We're the lowest cost provider that offers the most um, value, meaning everything. You get the skip traces, including you can pull 25,000 leads a month. You can do your e-signing in it. You can do comps. You do the entire Go Hello, the automation. So to be honest with you, a lot of our automations, our systems that make people successful in M2M is because of X leads, because you can combine them all together. So if I'm going to teach you how to maximize anywhere from 15 to 25,000 leads in a month, if you don't have a CRM like X leads, it's going to be hard to keep up with everything. And that's going to be the problem. I've done it without people. They're not nearly as successful. Can you do it in another system? You can, but like a lot of them don't have the AI integration. Like I'm going to be honest, if you go to PropStream, you are not going to get AI automation. So I'm not sure how you want me to do the SMS and the email automations put up into it. I could go on and on they're not bad platforms. They're just not wholesale specific. And that's the challenge. And then our recommendation, I don't hide it from anyone. Our marketing budget, we recommend a minimum of 500 a month. I would love for you to do more, but you know the expectation. So it's X leads, $97 a month, 500 of marketing. And I think the cost on the monthly, I don't know, it's like 220, 230.
250 something. Yeah.
Correct. But understand this, you go to anybody else's program, it's 5 to 10K up front. Then you're going to have to get all the softwares that X Leads offer. It's going to cost you about $1,500 a month. I'm not kidding on these numbers. And then they're going to tell you to spend 5 to 10 grand a month. So if you think I'm expensive, just shop it around because you got to understand, I pay an entire staff to make everybody accountable. I don't want you going in if you don't have the money for it. I'm not here to make people broke. It's not going to change my life. I'm trying to change your guys' life. So we just want to give you options out in the market. If you find someone that you think's a better fit for you, then go for it. I'm all for it. But I will promise you this. If you think spending 10 grand on a mentor is going to make you successful, I think most of you are going to be shocked. If gurus had to share their success rates, you would never, ever sign up for anyone's program. So the way we did it is we do a staff that has everybody's got a particular job. And every day we're talking to people, and we do 3 lives a week between me, Zach, Corey, and Evan, and then all my support staff. And then they share the numbers. So every time we go on a live, I know where everybody is, what their position is. I already know what their problems are, and we message them when we have problems. End of story. I'm not a miracle cure, but if you want something where you actually have to work through systems and actually show up every day, I'm going to make your ass accountable. And that's the difference between me and every other coach out there. Because if you get someone 10 grand, do they, like, honestly, is there any burden on that coach? What's your answer to that?
No, it's like you said
No,
about going to
because
college.
you put all the, so I actually have to show up every day and provide you value. Otherwise, you're going to stop staying with me.
Yeah.
And end of story. In the perfect world, I know why people charge 5 and 10 grand up front. Why? It takes all the risk off the trainer. If you fail, you're stuck. And you know what? Even when you do fail, most people are so embarrassed by how much money they spend and how little they got in return. They just go away quietly because they're scared to death. Like, no one's going to brag, oh, I gave somebody 10 grand. It didn't work. It's embarrassing.
Right.
Shit, I've done it. I've given people 100 grand for
Okay.
training that sucks so bad. And we become so biased. Like, even if you're in someone's program 5, 7, 10 grand and it's not working out, you're going to be artificially biased because you kind of have to join that. You look like an idiot if you don't embrace that community. And what happens when you talk about these expensive coaching communities? The minute you have something negative to say, they're going to kick you out, and you can't even blame them. It's their platform. So that's the catch 22. And by the way, we let all our members talk amongst each others. They constantly do their own live streams, and I actually enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. I go out and do hangouts with it all the time. And then they have the ability to message me and Zach directly. And we try to put everybody together, do deals together. Is it perfect? No, nothing's perfect. But honestly, I've taken 23 years of experience in coaching, and I believe I've come up with a program that actually makes sense. And we're adapting it every week. Like, okay, we found some things that didn't work. We found things that work. And I'm not one of these guys that just say, give me 10 grand. You're on the hook. And if you quit, I don't give a shit. And that's what I hate about the coaching business. And if you had to earn it every month and show up, but the idea is I try to provide so much value, you would be insane to leave. Because here's the reality, guys. I want you to get a deal under contract in 90 days. Some of you are just going to take longer. And if you think I tricked you into taking action, no, I just need you to believe in yourself. This thing where people think they can get a deal in 30 days, it's ridiculous. Can you? It's possible. You can. So if you guys follow David Goggins, he lost 100 pounds in 30 days. It means it's possible, but it's highly unlikely most people are going to do that. So we can sit here and make exceptions to it all the time. So what I truly want people to do is go around and look at all the arts. Listen, I know you guys go out and look at stuff and look at everybody's program, who you think is valuable. And then you decide who's a good fit. Then you have to decide if the value is there for it. And I just want to give you an educated decision on how you pick and who you want to work with going forward. I don't look at anyone's other programs because I don't care. But the fact that we offer freewholesaling.com, we make it 100% transparent and we show you what you get. If you get that for free, can you imagine what you got with a paid community? And I leave it at that. No other coach or guru will share their course because it's all behind lock and key. And until you pay, there's a reason for that. Because if you saw it, I don't know that you guys would actually pay for it. And that's the difference in the community, means Zach. So even if you come in 1 month at whatever, 240, 250, and you don't like what you do, I didn't take 10 grand from you. But I will tell everybody this: when you come into M2M, you got 24 hours and you're in. I will give you a 24-hour window. After that, I don't want to hear about it because I took all the risk on to take people. So you got to be willing to work, because I'm the only guy that doesn't charge 10 grand up front. And by the way, I have the biggest coaching staff of them all. And yes, me and Zach are a crucial part of it. We don't separate ourselves, but I have people who help me with KPIs and follow-ups and help people work deals and have people go through their marketing schedule and their program and the whole 9 yards. Does that help you at all?
Yeah, and this is something, yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. I can't say it enough. Thank you. Is the $4.50 for the aggregates, or the call centers. Is that something that we would go over in the program in more
Yes.
detail and what that investment?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it's just so you know how that program works. We have a designated M2M one. I use them for my company, and I've worked a deal out with them. I'm very, very, very deep in like how they work. They derive their own leads. We don't like buy them and do these services like a lot of the other services do. And we only give that rate to people in there. It runs about $1,000 a month because you have to pay for the cold caller, the services, and everything getting up and going. But the idea is to try to get a deal or two under your belt. And then ideally you can increase that because the more callers you get, the more of a discount you get. But I'm not looking to make people broke here. I still want you to do your own marketing and add to that. Some people are very short on time and they're at work full time. And I never had these options. I had to hire the VA like I was showing you guys earlier. And it was literally torture when I did that. And we have to understand that we have alternatives now. If you go out and hire your own cold caller, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to train them. You don't know the scripts. You don't even know what list to pull. And then you're probably going to pay them $6-7 an hour. I promise you, you're going to go through $3,000 to $5,000 before you discover it's not going to work out. Whereas I could take that same money and float you for 6 months. It's just, I have more education in it. And I understand where it's going. Hiring your own cold caller with zero experience in wholesaling, in my opinion, is one of the worst things you can do in all of wholesaling right now. Now, I did it way back when. I still got a few deals out of it. But when my son came in and I saw how it worked and he cold called for 3 years, it really opened my eye up. It's a very specialized business and there's a lot of competition into it. So we will share all those details with you. In fact, they will go over a phone call with you to sign up to make sure you're a good fit. And if you decide once you sign up, it's not a good fit within 24 hours, I just let you out. I don't want to like force people in a program. But if you come in a month or two and you decide you want to quit, don't ask me for a money back guarantee because I have to pay an entire staff to do that stuff. Think about this. I didn't charge you 10 grand. So maybe you're just losing $250. It's just how business works. And I'm honest and upfront about it. And it seems like everybody else in this business is like, you guys understand when they have a salesman and you got to talk to them, you're paying on average 25% more than the value of the product because they have to pay that guy. And what do you think the incentive of that salesperson is? It's 100% just to close you. They don't give a crap if you go broke, you got to run up mama's credit card, or you have a children starving. There's some times where we're just going to say no to people. That's just business. I don't believe in making people broke for coaching programs. That's why I offer freewholesaling.com. So if you need to hop on a call or do anything, Corey and Evan are my main coaches that oversee all the students with me and Zach support on our entire staff. And you're more than willing to just reach out and even have a conversation. So if you're inside a school, they're in freewholesaling.com. You can reach out to them and talk to them directly. Even before you spend a dime, I don't give a crap. I would do it. And I would expect you guys to do it. So does that help give you a little clarity on it? I think I lost him. Okay. Let's see. Abraham, you there?
Yes, sir. Good
How you doing,
evening.
man?
How are you, sir?
I'm phenomenal. How are you?
Is it evening where you're at?
Yeah, it's dark outside. So it's what time is it? 6:34 Eastern time, PM. Where you
Good.
at?
Good. I'm in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's currently 2:30 a.m. where I'm at.
Oh, really? That's
Yes, I am.
interesting.
Yes, I am.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Well,
talked to
actually,
quite a few people over there, by the way. So business wise.
that's actually why I'm calling you, sir. Well,
Okay.
you see, sir, I got a problem that I would like to run it with you, and I got a couple solutions for it that I would also like to hear your thoughts about.
Okay.
Well, first of all, my main problem is that I won't be able to receive any assignment fees where I am at due to anti-money laundering laws here. It's very strict.
Okay.
So I have a couple solutions for that, which is number one, I can be a VAA for somebody and I will only get 25% through a Wise account. Or number B is that I can actually get an acquisition and get a buyer, However, I'm going to have to get somebody to receive the assignment fee, LGV, with them, and they will send my cut through a Wise account.
Okay, so I'm just telling you, I have, well, I'm not going to go in specific countries, but I have business partners over in your side of the world who have US business accounts.
Mhm.
And I don't ask a lot of questions. I just, as long as I can pay it like a US bank account, somehow they extract the money. I'm not questioning any of your laws. I just, um, is it really that strict over there on how they are you, were you born and raised
As
there?
a foreign resident, yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is. Because I'm not Saudi either. If I'm Saudi, no problem.
So what is your origin of descent?
I'm Yemeni.
Okay. Got it. So guys, anybody who wants to take them up onto it, but Abraham, what I would do is I would move this conversation over to our free wholesaling group.
Sure. Sure.
Because there's
Actually, by the
60,000
way,
people there, and I'm sure you could find someone that would take you up on that offer.
I absolutely will do. I just talked to Zach about this last week too. If he would just unban me from the school group, I would have greatly appreciated.
If he would what?
Unban me.
Okay, so what'd you get banned for?
I'm going to be honest. I told him the same thing. I made multiple comments in order for me to level up in the school group, and my comments do come across as spammy.
Correct. So I'm just being courtesy to you because you're reaching out on a live and asking people to do business with you.
Yes, sir.
And it's like borderlines. I already assumed you kind of stepped over the line. If I let you back in, you make one more comment. Like it just, you got to understand the reason, like people take when we like ban people personally.
No,
First of all, it's not me and Zach doing it personally. I have people that work for
I
me.
understand.
And the problem is if you let every one of those comments get through, it gets ridiculous. Go over to
Of
Facebook.
course.
It's an absolute nightmare. I mean,
Yeah.
I can
It's a
ban a
wild west.
person and then they get 10 more accounts. And I have to spend, I think, 80 grand a year just trying to like sort out all the spam. So
Of course you do.
you just got to be careful how you come across on it
Of
because
course.
we don't know everybody personally and we have to guard the platform because the number one complaint we get from everyone is spam, spam, spam. This person keeps reaches out to me. The amount of
Yeah.
messages I get on people like so-and-so requested money from him. I paid him because he said he worked with you. Every day it happens. And so that's why we do it. So I will
Of
work
course
on
it
that
is.
and I will pass the message on to Zach. But
Thank you, sir. And I would like to thank you very much, both of you, the Gins, for imparting such teachings and wisdoms to all of us for free, which is not a lot of people doing that out here. So thank you.
okay, no problem. So Elaine, I'm looking at Evan's messages right now, and every one of them is pretty much answered. So I'm not sure where that comment's going on. So it's kind of funny because I brought Evan through freewholesaling.com, and after 2 years, he got wildly successful. So I think Evan's done the exact same that every one of you did. He just finished it. So like, don't take it personally. Okay. Um, okay. I'm reading all the comments here. Uh, So Elaine, they can the $500 would count towards your cold call center. So it's we're not asking you to do on top of it. But guys, keep in mind, like there's only so much I can do if you're not willing to spend some money on marketing for me to get you a deal in 90 days. If that doesn't work, you just go over to freewholesaling.com. Me and Zach are the only ones that actually teach it for free. But our small investment and our small investment in marketing, you know it all up front. Everybody else's program, do you know they take your money up front, then they break the news to you how much you got to spend a month? And then if you don't move forward, it doesn't matter. They already have their money because I promise you, they're not going to use Stripe. They're going to do an ACH or a wire so you can never take the money back. Want to test me on it? Go out there and try it. I already know how this works. So, ba ba ba. It does take a little time to respond. We do have a lot of members, and we try to keep the price as low as possible. So it does take the time. Remember, I got a staff of 12, and everyone's got a job to sort through certain stuff. And there's certain things that get to me and Zach, and then me and Zach, once a week, we hop on a live for as long as we can and answer all the direct questions on it. So guys, do me a favor. If you enjoyed today's live stream, do me a favor and just hit that subscribe button. I will pop it right up here. The biggest compliment you can give to me, or even to me and Zach, is just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. I try to give you value of content. And remember, I only focus on wholesaling. Why? Because it's what I'm absolutely best at. Besides being a family man and raising my children, which I believe I do the best of my ability, wholesaling is probably the near second one I do, because I've been doing the other one a little bit longer than that, but not much longer, because Zach was 3 when I started. Hit that subscribe button. And if you got value from this, please let me know. We'll be back on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate you guys, and I will see you then. Later.